Hi, this is Tim of the 1916 Company. Welcome and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email me. My email is still tmosso@thewatchbox.com. It is still in the description below. It is your purchase and pricing email question line for buying this or any watch you see on any of our platforms. Please reach out to me directly. I am tmosso@thewatchbox.com for pricing details. Today we are discussing a 2017 launch that expanded a model line originally bowing in 2016. This is the Cartier Drive to Cartier Extra Plat or Extra Flat. It is the watch that probably should have launched the Drive collection, as it was the best by far up to that point and remains a standout. The watch is 39 millimeters in diameter in rose gold, the Extra Plat being only 7.3 millimeters thick, and from lug tip to lug tip 45 millimeters with a 20 millimeter spacing between the lugs. Now when I throw it on my wrist, which is 16 centimeters in circumference, you can see it has a little bit of a tonneau profile more than a round case, but the lugs are so far inboard of the edge of my wrist, even when viewed from over the top, even with the strap pulled tight, I could recommend this watch for a wrist as small as 13.5 centimeters circumference. So while it was launched as a men's watch, it's absolutely a unisex option. And whether you call it extra flat or extra plat, which is the French, it is both low enough to slide underneath any kind of a dress cuff. The strap is medium rectangular scale alligator leather in a matte finish with a edge that is folded, a monotone stitch, and on the bottom calfskin. You can see it is a brand new Cartier factory strap, no crimping, no gouging, and it is matched with a simple Cartier rose gold pin buckle. There is one element of this rather shapely pin buckle that I would like to shout out, which is the elevated bridge over the prongs on the side, so that the strap, once it's inside, befitting the extra flat image of the watch, the strap will sit flush inside the buckle rather than stacking up sequentially below it because of this little hollow between the bridge and the flanks. So great attention to detail. If you take a look here, you can see that the lugs are one and the same as the bezel, and in fact it's a monoblock case with the flank, the bezel, and the lugs all one piece. And you can see this little character line of the ends of the case as it diminishes into the profile of the lug. A really nice detail you've got there. And because this is a monoblock case, there's no seam between the bezel and the case band, giving it a wonderfully coherent all-of-a-piece look. We have a push-down crown, 30-meter water resistance. It is faceted, and then it has a faceted sapphire in blue, which is a lovely heritage element on Cartier watches. The lugs have a little bit of a downward tuck and taper, and then a very narrow satination in the case band, with the caseback recessed somewhat to give the impression of an even thinner watch when it's on the wrist. The dial at center features a silver sunburst and then a track for reading your minutes. We have blued broadsword style hands and radially arrayed Roman numerals with a watchmaker's 4 and the Cartier secret signature down at 7. Not a lot to see on the caseback, but it is solid gold. Believe it or not, solid casebacks are thinner than sapphire casebacks, so that's pretty consistent with the image of the watch here. Now, inside is what Cartier calls MC430, but it is actually a Cartier sister brand, Piaget 430p. That's true. Both brands are under the Richemont tree, and the Piaget 430p being drawn over because it is only 2.1 millimeters thick as a manual wind mechanical movement, and that's what we find inside this case. So a 2.1 millimeter thick manual wind movement that has 43 hours of power reserve, a 3 hertz beat rate, and 18 pivot joules, wonderfully compact in diameter and thickness to match the image of an extra flat Cartier drive. And because Piaget is a high horology brand, that even raises the image of this watch a little bit, much like the Cartier watches of the 20th century during its golden era as the king of jewelers and the jeweler to kings. Cartier would go out and get the best Piguet or Jaeger-LeCoultre or Piaget movements, and then case them up in its own style. And with this extra flat, the drive truly found its signature style. Reach out to Team Mosso at thewatchbox.com for purchase and pricing details.